before we get started, I want to offer you one thing. Um, it's like vocabulary exercise. I know that you're not a big fan of these activities, but you're in my podcast, so there is my
Okay.
rules here.
Okay.
Oh, I need to
Obey or leave, right?
yeah, but please don't leave.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
I can. I see.
So, there is a list of words from our English lessons,
Mhm.
and I want you to choose 3 of them. We can discuss the meaning if you don't understand, and I want us to make like a bingo game that we should say these words, like these 3 words in our podcast
Mhm.
while we are speaking, and maybe not one time but few times, and then check our scores and who wins. uh, this person can, for example, who loses
Mhm.
um,
Buys ice cream.
cooking a lunch
Okay.
for today.
Or buys ice cream, right?
Mm, not very healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I will pick crunchy.
Crunchy.
Yes.
Where is it? Crunchy,
A
crunchy.
crunchy snack, a snack that makes a loud noise
Ah,
when beaten like carrots or chips.
okay.
I will choose can't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
And fair enough, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would like to choose we see eye to eye. Mm-hmm. Does and don'ts of something. And I like this one. Head over heels in something. Like in Russian, it will be по уши
Mm,
somewhere, in love or in depth. Depths. So,
in shit.
yeah, okay. Let's one more time pronounce which phrases have you chosen.
Fair
Choose.
enough. Crunchy. Can't agree more. These are my phrase.
Mm-hmm. And mine, um, we see eye to eye. Those and don'ts of,
Mhm.
and head over heels in.
Mhm.
So our listeners can also be part of this game and maybe uh, try to notice our words and count them and leave a comment if you counted them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or suggest your interesting phrase that we can use in the next episode.
Oh, good idea.
So, and then we can
Okay.
start.
Impostors Podcast. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to our Imposters Podcast. I really appreciate it how you supported me last time, and it was very, very kind. Um, yeah, and today I want to discuss with Sasha one topic, but first I want to ask how is it going? How are you, Sasha? It's the question for you.
Same old, same old. I'm still being your husband. How are you?
I'm okay. Mm, I want to eat a little bit.
What about your first episode of podcast? How's it going?
Mm,
And do you impress or not?
mm,
Are you excited?
I think I was super nervous the day I published it.
I saw that.
And yeah, you were witness of my stress. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I ate a lot of chips and nuts that evening. Um, yeah, but in general, it was okay. I didn't get any negative comments, only supportive ones. And I really hope that we will continue this podcast and it's uh, that it won't um, influence me that much with time because I need to be um, I think in this mm, business it's the most important thing it's that you should have discipline and just constant, how to say, постоянство.
Constant. Yeah, to be
Okay,
constant.
to be constant, yeah, in your work.
And what about encourage? Do you need to be encouraged?
Mm, what does it mean?
Воодушевленный.
Encouraged,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, mm, I think I need to have motivation. Um, like I have it, but discipline is more important, I think.
Yeah. Encourage just addition to your discipline, I guess.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yes.
So, what's the topic for today?
Today's topic is stereotypes about Russia.
Oh,
Um,
ni-
yeah,
nice
don't
topic.
don't sound surprised because I've already said it to you. So I've asked ChatGPT to write me 10 stereotypes about Russia,
Mm-hmm.
so we can discuss it one by one.
Yeah,
Um, so first
I,
one.
I have much to
Uh,
say.
yeah, it sounds like that. All Russians drink vodka. The stereotype that vodka is the national drink and that all Russians consume it in large quantities.
Yeah, uh, we in Russia we call it klukva. It's type of berry. Uh, Means it's a stupid or cheesy stereotype about Russians
Mhm,
because maybe it was fair enough when I don't know in the previous century, uh, in the 1980s,
mhm,
but now I think the majority in Russia consumes alcohol less than it can happen in other countries, and the, a lot of my friends doesn't doesn't drink alcohol at all. Uh, for example, I don't drink alcohol for uh, 11, 11 years, and I'm good with this, and I recommend avoid alcohol at all. Like
mhm,
throw out mm, this thing from your life if it's possible.
mhm. But I think for some of people, alcohol, not only vodka, but every other type of alcohol is a habit. Like now
Mm-hmm.
it's wine, I think,
Yeah,
for our generation. And
and beer.
for example, when our family gave up drinking,
Mm-hmm.
um, we, uh, my parents, my parents' friend uh, didn't understand them because, okay, New Year without alcohol, why?
Yeah.
Uh, and I remember that there were a lot of people, a lot of my parents' friends who were mm, who persuaded them to drink alcohol
Mm-hmm.
again. So it was just mm, my parents were very determined in this to give up this habit, and maybe after a few years, and my parents' friends um, understood that okay, they don't drink now.
Yeah, the same thing was with me when I stopped use when I stopped use alcohol. My friends persuaded me uh, to be a part of, our friend society, and to be as everyone. Like, why you don't drink alcohol, or just one small shot? That's it. And it was a kind of challenge for them to persuade me. And
Mhm,
but after 11 years, I can say I didn't uh, I didn't give up,
mhm,
and now I absolutely clean. And yeah, especially I noticed that our wedding was with zero alcohol wedding,
mhm,
and everything was nice. Nobody dies, and
mhm,
the atmosphere was quite friendly, fun, and good enough.
mhm. I think we see eye to eye in this question, and that's why um, I think if we don't have such habit to not drink alcohol, it uh, oh, I'm so bad at conditionals. Sorry, Katya, if you're listening. Yeah, I was trying to say that we uh, couldn't get along with it and live peacefully.
Yeah, uh, I agree. And again, in I think in every country you can find a person or group of person that consumes alcohol in a huge amount.
Mhm,
And but it's a media trick that shows you the part of uh, the the picture they want to show you. Like, they want to prove their statement. Like, okay, Russia consumes alcohol. Then they go to they go to village, poor village, without work, without any activities, instead of consuming alcohol. And they create a picture, then show it to you, and yeah, puzzle solved. Russia
mhm,
is alcoholic country. But you know, I think it's a it's a fake.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Yeah, of course. We we produce alcohol. We produce vodka, beer, wine, a lot of cider, a lot of different kind of alcohol. But it's not everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That what
Yeah.
what I wanted to say.
Ah, I was thinking about maybe it's good to find historical proof for this stereotype. Maybe it was because of economic crises, because like we have villages in Russia that are emptier and emptier with every year, because young people go to big cities for work, because it's nothing to do in village, uh, except for drinking alcohol. I know that i- it's kind of a problem, or it was a problem. I don't know how it is now, but it was a problem definitely. Mm, this villages problem.
I think it's a problem of that can exist that exists right now. I would say, but there are a lot of reason that created this stereotype about us. 19th and movies. Before that was a Cold War. Before that was a stagnation period of USSR where you can, as my father said, you can, I don't know, just do your job and get money for that job, enough money to have everything what you need, like food, clothes, of course, not to. There wasn't big diversity, like a huge diversity when you can, I don't know, use that type of clothes or another type. Yeah, you lived your, you use alcohol as a after work, and now it exists. Like a lot of people uh, use buy beer after work and then sit in front of television TV.
Mhm,
I saw this many times,
mhm,
and this is the reason why I wanted to leave my hometown and area where I lived for 28 years because of poor area. People don't care much about their future. They
mhm.
just live, you know, family, work, rest after work, and rest assumes alcohol. Sitting in the yard and drink alcohol in summer, or you know, something like that.
Yeah. So, okay, I think we covered this point. We
Yeah.
can go to the second one. Second one sounds like cold and harsh weather. The belief that Russia is perpetually cold and covered in snow, with Siberia being the epitome of harsh freezing conditions. I don't know this word, epitome.
You can
I need
translate it,
to check it.
but
So,
also, while you check in the translation of this word, I want to say that Russia is biggest country, like one of the biggest countries in the world, and there are a lot of different places and like weather zones. For example, Siberia, of course, there are a lot of snow, and weather might be harsh and cold sometimes. In a Norilsk, for example, you can easily find minus 52 degrees in winter with huge wind and uh, a lot of amount of snow. But for example, Krasnodar or Sochi, or let's say Sochi, Krasnodar, it's a southern part of Russia where um, sun is every day, almost every day, nice weather, enough hot, and I would say wet, like a humidity is higher than in Siberia.
Okay. Epitome, I think it's French word, and it means the typical or highest example of a stated quality as shown by a particular person or thing. I think it's because of Siberia is epitome of harsh freezing conditions.
Yeah, it's fair
Um,
enough too.
yeah, yeah, Siberia is definitely um, epitome.
Epitome.
Epitome. Yeah, and yeah, also I've heard this stereotype is more mm, common now because I heard from my classmates about, okay, you're from Russia. It means that you're okay with this Swedish weather, and I'm trying to um, I'm constantly trying to um, where is my vocabulary?
Argue.
How to say? Объяснить.
Explain.
Yeah, I'm always trying to explain this difference between North Russia and South Russia, and how different it is.
Yeah, maybe you remember once we walked with our friends Edwin and Johanna here, and I showed him the area, the photo of area that my mom's made, and they were surprised about how green there is. A lot of trees, even school wasn't visible. And they also,
Because of trees.
yeah, because of trees, like literally, trees covered 99% uh, of area where my mom lives. And they were surprised, and they thought that's snow in summer, like that. So again, it's a prejudice, but uh, again, fair enough to say we have a different weather conditions. Even in our hometown, we can have 40 plus degrees in summer and minus 35 degrees in winter. So there is a wide range of possible weather you can have.
Yeah.
But in Moscow, nice summer, nice and hot summer, and I would say wetty, wettish winter. I can say that.
Yeah. Rainy.
Rainy, not
But
much snow.
it's it depends on winter, on year, because
Yeah.
we lived in Moscow for years and we saw um, a winter with rain
Hmm.
only, and the winter with very fluffy white and soft snow
Hmm.
and the sun. But yeah, it's pretty dark in winter in Moscow. But in Chelyabinsk, it's sunnier in winter for me, because the first winter in Moscow was a torture for me because there were no sun, no snow, and yeah.
Rain.
Yeah, in Chelyabinsk it's freezy, but there is the sun at least. And you can have this, if you go to the countryside, you can see these trees under snow. It looks fantastic. It's glittering,
Hmm.
and it's just from the postcard, this image. Yeah.
So I think we can say more about weather in Russia.
Mhm.
And again, like a some kind of finalization of our speech and description. Weather is different in Russia. It
Mhm.
depends on area that you visited in.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Strict and unsmiling. The perception that Russians are stern, unfriendly, and rarely smile, especially in public. So I think it's closest to true. Because, for example, in Moscow, people looks very um, serious. Um, but when you need to ask, like, for example, where is the hospital or there is this, they're smiling and super polite with you. They want to help you. Uh,
Yeah.
I think in Moscow, it's just because you don't want to look friendly for um,
For
for
cheaters.
frauds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Frauds. Yeah.
because we have a lot of frauds around metro stations, uh,
Hmm.
which wants to have your money.
Yeah.
For example, they can um, approach you and ask, "Can you please buy me a ticket to somewhere? Can you please help me? I will return your money. Please, please." And they see somehow your kind face, and they approaching you because you're kind, you will help, and etc. etc. And that's why people um, decide to look serious and don't approach me. Live your life. Left me alone. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Maybe something with my face, but I re- I recalled how I decided to be unfriendly as much as I can, and even I shaped my head, like
Shaved.
shaved. Yeah, shaved. Sorry, I shaved
Mhm.
my head. I was almost skinhead. I would say,
Bold.
yeah, or bald. Yeah, sorry for my English.
It's
Uh,
okay.
uh, I was almost bald, like maybe 1 or 2 millimeters of hair was on my head, and I was super serious, but it doesn't, it didn't help. So literally, I maybe helped twice to buy I bought food for two different strangers in 1 week,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there are a lot of cheaters around you that can easily they want your money
Mm-hmm.
constantly. And you need to be aware of this kind of person around you and be like it's like a self protection, I would say. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, we can look serious. Uh, we can look serious, but
Mm-hmm.
in personal conversation, I think we are super polite and friendly. And
Yeah.
I, as a controversial and as a counter example,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that in Europe, everyone is smiling,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it's because of Nordic country, but people here just, you know, as we, they
Yeah.
just walk and don't smile.
Yeah.
But sometimes they greetings with you if your eyes
You
mm,
have eye to eye contact.
yes, if you had eye to eye contact, then they smile into you and say hi, hey.
Mm-hmm.
This is the difference, and I really like this in here. So
Mm-hmm.
in Russia, if you had eye to eye contact,
Mm-hmm.
it looks strange,
It's
or
really weird.
yeah, it's really weird, and it can look provocative.
Yeah. We are like animals.
Yeah,
Don't look at the eyes.
yeah. Why are you staring to me?
Yes.
You have a problem, man.
Yeah, but I think Swedes and Russians are similar in at this point because I don't know why they have this serious face, but I heard from people from different countries that they're not really smiling people, and a lot of stereotypes, for example, about cold weather and that Swedes drinking. I think it suits to Swedes also these two previous stereotypes.
Yeah, yeah. I can agree with this, especially when we found that here you you are not able to buy alcohol in grocery
Strong.
store,
Mhm.
only in the special place called System Balaget.
Yeah, they have only one place with a strong alcohol that
Mm-hmm.
closes early. I don't know. I think it has um, days in a week they don't work. For example, on Sunday, I think they don't work.
Yes,
Uh,
Sunday they are closed, and Saturday
yeah,
they closes early, like
yeah,
3 p.m.
yes. I I was surprised when I saw people who are running to this shop to buy mm, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They like drink, and
Mhm.
again, but nobody tells us, "Oh, Sweden is too drinking country." You know, it's pretty drink
Yeah.
and drink.
I think now it's not a problem because they build mm, this shop, this system, and now it's getting better.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They
yeah,
tried
but
to
we
solve this problem, and they
yeah,
found it.
but Russian. still has this stereotype.
But again, uh, I would say Russia has a problem with alcohol. Let's say here they found out that they have a problem with alcohol, and they solved this problem to create only one place where you can buy alcohol.
Mhm.
In Russia, you can buy alcohol in every grocery store. Let's say we have Пятерочка, we have uh, Dixie, we have Магнит, we have Перекресток, we have Красное и Белое. And in every store, you can buy alcohol. Strong enough, light enough, 0% alcohol. You can buy it for free, not for free, but we you can easily buy it. And I think it's a problem because on my area where I was born, there are 3 or 4 beer shops, but 0 cafes.
Mhm.
It's weird for me.
I think we have this problem, but government trying to tackle with this problem, and they, for example, there is rules that you can't buy alcohol after 11 or 12 p.m. And I know that now it's better quality of alcohol than it was in the beginning of this century. Mm,
Yeah,
I
because
think
they increased the rule, like a restriction of rules
yeah.
for producers of alcohol.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I know we have one point in our list of prejudice about Russians, and when we will discuss this point,
Mhm.
I will say about how we solve this thing with strict hours when you can buy alcohol, and
Okay.
so
So, next one, love for ballet and classical music. The idea that every Russian appreciates and regularly attends ballet and classical music performances.
I totally disagree with this
Mhm.
prejudice because maybe, yeah, of course, we have a great compositors and ballet. I don't know how to. We
Artists,
ballet
dancers.
artists, dancers, yes, and collectives also, but like a regular Russian doesn't like ballet or classical music. There is a special, I guess, special layer of society that likes this uh, type of activities.
Mhm.
But I would say rap music, pop music, and classical music, not classical, of course, rock music, not classical, uh, has more fans in Russian society
Mhm.
than classical music and ballet.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, Not
Mm.
so long ago, Kanye West visited Russia, Moscow,
Mhm.
for a few days, and it there there were a lot of posts in like informations, topics in our magazines about just visiting Kanye West,
Mhm.
so, and a lot of fans tried to catch him uh, during he was in Moscow.
Mhm.
That's uh, it tells enough, I think,
Mhm.
what Russians prefer.
Yeah, but I think I wanted to add. I agree with you. We see eye to eye at this point, but I wanted to add that it's affordable to visit ballet and classical music show
Mm-hmm.
in lots of cities, not
Mm-hmm.
only in Moscow. In Moscow, it's super expensive to go to this big theater, for example. And
Mm-hmm.
I when I saw a picture of queue to ballet Щелкунчик, I
Mm-hmm.
was shocked.
Nutcracker.
Uh, Nutcracker, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's Tchaikovsky's.
Yes.
Um, it's music by Tchaikovsky. Yeah, you see, I'm not good in this topic
Yeah.
because not all Russians like classical music and ballet.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw these cues to Щелкунчик, uh, like it was like to Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know that lots of Moscow um, citizen likes to go to this ballet on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a tradition,
Mm-hmm.
and
Family tradition.
yeah. So I think it this stereotype has a point.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't agree more, but with you. But as I said, it depends which type of society we look at. So
Mm,
Moscow
I know
cities.
my friend
Mhm.
was trying to buy this ticket, so
Wow,
it's it's not some kind of high level intelligence society. It's just people. People
interesting.
can like ballet and classical music even in Chelyabinsk. My mom likes classical music very much.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, because I think we have this in our education.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I know that lots of classes at schools go to ballet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very interesting for children, but at least they do it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was
So,
many times on this type of education activities.
yeah. And even we went to classical music, what was this competition
Mm-hmm.
mm, when we lived in Moscow, and it was free.
Mm-hmm. It was
Like
free.
this, I'm talking about this affordability to uh, usual common people go to ballet or classical music concert or theater anywhere. You can
Yeah,
go to these expensive ones like Nutcracker or mm,
big theaters,
Большой, big
big.
theater.
So, but I recalled one interesting thing
Mhm.
when USSR, I would say, broke or just like
Destroyed your
destroyed.
here itself.
Where in Moscow was a putsch
Mhm.
and strikes to White House, on every channel, TV channel, was a ballet.
Yeah.
Why it's
Swan's Lake.
yes, one's like yes. So
Yeah.
literally, whole country watched this ballet for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah. I think um, I didn't thought about this cultural phenomenon before I moved to Sweden, because here I can see that mm, I don't want to, mm, how to say, обидеть.
Mm,
Mm,
disappoint,
yeah, I don't
hurt.
want hurt feelings of Swedes, but I think there is lack of culture, and it's okay because Russian um, is a big country and has um, a big history, cultural history. And while I was living in Russia, I um, wasn't care about this, but now I see that
Hmm.
it's true.
And
Or,
it has a huge impact over the world.
mhm, yeah.
Even in Sweden
So,
knows about ballet.
mhm. Yeah, but we are not head over heels in ballet and classical music. So next one, Kremlin and Soviet nostalgia. The belief that Russians are nostalgic for Soviet era and that the Kremlin still holds a strong influence over daily life.
Controversial thing.
Yeah.
uh, I would say again, it depends on angle of your point of view. Like it depends on point of view. There are a lot of people mm, that hate USSR. They calls it savok,
Mhm.
and they think everything related with USSR uh, is a ugliest thing in the world, like
Mhm.
that. But also, we have a other type of people, and they want to. They would happy if someday USSR, uh, like I don't know how to say
Returns.
returns. Yes,
Mhm.
I wanted to say like rebuilds yourself,
Mhm.
but yeah, returns, and we will live in Soviet society. So
Mhm.
I think as always, the truth in the middle.
Mhm.
I think the majority of Russians don't, in my humble opinion, they don't want to return back to USSR.
Mhm.
This is my personal opinion
Mhm.
about it. But
Yeah.
Kremlin has, mm, I, I would say, has a great impact to our life. Like
Yeah. Especially now.
especially now. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
I
is the truth.
think, yeah, 10 years ago, we would laugh on this because it was okay. What?
What? Yeah.
Kremlin. Um doesn't have any influence in our daily life, but that's not true. Um, yeah, and
Yeah, we were wrong.
it's controversial thing. I don't want to dwell on this mm, long, too long. But Soviet nostalgia definitely. Um, I think half of our. It's not statistic, but my thoughts that
Hmm.
half of population believe in Soviet and wants to.
Go
It's
back that
like
time.
yeah. mm, I think mostly old people, elderly
Hmm.
people, and young ones who didn't live uh, those in those times. Somehow, propaganda maybe did this to
Maybe,
them.
maybe, but there is an interesting phenomenal thing that I want to say. People who uh, who was born in Soviet Union,
Mhm,
as me or a bit earlier, late 19th, they hate Soviet Union. And it's interesting because um, when I was child, I don't uh, so I don't remember that times when I was a child. uh,
mhm,
Good for me, it was a childhood that I had, not too much but not too little, toys, sweets. And I think they want to be in a way of progressive persons who don't like Soviet Union at all. But if we try to think about what was USSR, Soviet Union has at least 19th, 90, yeah, 90 years of history, and there were a lot of different periods, like after revolution, before war, war period, after war, then Brezhnev's period, and then. So it depends which period we discuss.
mhm.
We cannot compare Stalin and Brezhnev at all.
Okay, USSR was 70 years.
Oh, 70, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
I I started to count my thing after after revolution happened.
mhm,
So it was 1917,
mhm,
October Revolution, and I started my counting from this period.
mhm,
But again, we cannot compare revolutionary period and, let's say, um, Brezhnev's period or
mhm.
Andropov's period also.
Mhm. Yeah. So we can go
Mm-hmm.
forward.
Yeah.
Mm, next one is really funny.
Mm.
Sounds like bear companions. The bizarre
Oh,
stereotype that Russians have bears as pets or frequently encounter them in urban areas. So I think it's more like a funny thing, and like everybody understands that it's not true. Um, yeah, but it's
it's
funny.
it's funny. I know only one Russian who who had a fight with beer. It's Habib Nurmagomedov. When he was a child, his father trained him like in grappling with
Mhm,
bear. That's it. So I I haven't visited. I haven't. seen bear in the wild nature.
Mm-hmm.
I saw bear in zoos.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There is a
Yeah.
that was only one place where I saw bear.
Yeah. Agree.
Don't believe this stereotype.
Mm, I don't think that actually someone believes in this, and but it's really funny because we have this Putin on bear,
Yeah,
like a uh,
sitting on the
rider.
bear. Hmm.
Yeah, uh, and I think actually bears lives in Sweden also in forests,
Hmm.
and here we can be like brothers in this stereotype, but somehow Sweden doesn't have this stereotype about them.
Hmm. But
Um,
this their nature is quite closer to
mhm,
uh, to the cities, and
mhm,
we can easily see rabbits here,
mhm.
deers. Uh, Also, you saw moose.
Yeah, I saw deers, not moose. We saw mooses at
Yeah,
Göteborg Park,
yeah.
but
Uh,
not in
in,
nature.
in Stockholm.
No, I saw deers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was a really fascinating experience for me because I live with this understanding that Russia are very close to nature, etc. But no, people who lives in cities, big cities like us, we can see wild nature only mm, on wild nature, not in the cities.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, you're right. Fair enough, fair point that Swedish people are more close to nature than majority of Russians. I
Hmm.
I think.
Because we have a big like a huge separation. Like a city is a cities, nature is nature. Like you have to, if you want to visit forest, let's say, you have to leave your city for 2 hours out of your city, and then you will be in the forest.
Um, yeah, mostly, but in Moscow there are parks, mm,
Yeah,
like Losиный остров, for example.
Moose Island,
Yeah, island,
not Iceland.
and we didn't visit this park, but it's very wild.
Hmm. Fair enough.
So, next one, immense national pride. The view that Russians are extremely proud of their country, culture, and history, often to the point of nationalism.
Mm,
Another controversial thing.
yes, I think we are proud of our history, our writers, musicians, compositors, filmmakers, sportsmen, whatever. But I want to say that we are proud of our history, but not our like a now time, like nowadays heroes.
Mhm,
And it's interesting thing uh, when you're proud of people uh, which was which were like sanctioned or persuaded by government in
mhm,
their times.
mhm.
So let's say uh, Pushkin was a prisoner.
Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky was a prisoner for sometimes. A lot of immigrants of our like our Russian immigrants died abroad of Russia because of persuading of government. And now maybe the situation has been changing, but in my time where when I was in Russia, when I lived in Russia, I was thinking that um, Russia is a bad place for living, and you have, if you want to be a successful person, you have to live abroad. You live, you have to move to the USA, Canada, or Europe. Let's say Germany. Yeah, Germany was a nice country with nice reputation inside Russia. For the country worth living with in. Yeah, living in.
Yeah.
But nationalism now, I think we have a lot of different nationalities in Russia, and of course we have like we have a specific type of jokes about Asian people, like black people, but even we joke at ourselves. So I think it's not. Of course, we have groups of football fans, and these fans tend to be kind of nationalists, but the government suppressed them enough.
Yeah. But I think now nationalism can thrive again because of newspapers headlines. Immigrants, immigrants, immigrants everywhere.
Yeah.
So it can't be in vain because it's just go to our heads without
but,
our noticing.
As we say in Russia, smoke cannot exist without fire.
Oh, now you're talking like a nationalist.
No, I think the problem was a long time. That was a long time problem, but our government closed their eyes on that problem, and when it was become comfortable for them to discuss this topic and try to solve it, they use it for their goals. That's it, I think.
I think it's very controversial topic, and I don't agree with you with a lot of points here because I think you lived in kind of bubble because you're Russian and you didn't like you're Russian by nationality and you didn't have these problems that even I was a witness of this type of discrimination to people whose nationality isn't Russian, but they were born in Russia, that they are citizen of Russia, but still they have these problems, this inequality in some rights. So it's not a fairy tale, not like if Putin says that we are brothers everywhere, like we respect each other.
No, it's just a
It's just a
sweet
words.
word.
Yeah. But I don't want to like really discuss this problem now because it's really controversial and I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to touch this very
Okay.
sensitive topic. But in general, I think when I was growing up, I really didn't like this idea of we should be proud of our country. Um, Maybe it's because of we were growing up and we were teenagers and we were like full of protests. Um,
No, I agree. The same happened with me. Like, I wasn't proud of our country when I was younger.
mhm,
Even now, you know,
yeah,
I don't, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
okay, I don't care much about it, I would say.
yeah. In my school years, I know that it was a really big thing. It was really a thing. This globalism.
Mm-hmm.
It was everywhere, and this propaganda that we should have one language for everyone,
One
um,
currency, no
one
borders.
currency, no borders. Yeah, these sweet, sweet times.
Yes, and I would say I like this idea when,
Mhm. Even now?
even now, I'm, I support that we in 20, 21st century, when we have AI in your smartphone, uh, we have to we have we we need to have an opportunity to visit countries, pay everywhere without problems. Like, yeah, I was for globalization because I'm a fan of the idea of internet.
Mhm. But don't you think that we um, mm, should keep our traditions from, for example, you should keep your tradition as a Russian, I should keep my tradition and my language as Tatarian. Mm, like for me, idea of globalization that times was as as an excuse to not learn Tatarian mostly.
Mm,
Yes, and not mostly, but part of part of it. And now I think that if everywhere will be the same, what's the point of traveling? What's the point of exploring new cultures, new places, new people if we talk on one language,
mhm.
have one currency, have one idea? I think it's utopia, utopia, utopia.
Yeah, I think we talk about different things. So, traveling uh, worth to be because, let's say, you visit Spain or Italy. There are a lot of ancient buildings that you can see, you know, local grocery stores, cafes that you can visit and eat traditional food. But tradition is a local thing. When I traveled to Sweden, I can bring my, experience, my traditions, but I cannot to inject my traditions and beliefs into this society. I have to be a part of this society where I am living in. And uh, if you want to keep your language, your traditions, you can even remember about it, but it will be useless here. Like, Okay, you remember about it, you like keep them, but tradition should be, in my opinion, should be local things. Like, so you can visit different Russian pieces of country and with different cultures, different traditions. So, but you cannot, let's say, create second um, Tatarstan in Moscow because of it's a capital, it's a big city with local traditions of this city where money is important thing.
I'm not talking about this.
Can you explain more then?
Just don't you think you were saying about Russian accent, for
Mm-hmm.
example?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you should switch your accent to Swedish, or you want to leave your Russian accent that everyone understand that you are Russian? It's part of your personality. I'm talking about this.
It is a particular example, and
Mhm.
I would say that if I want to be a part of this society, it depends on my personality. If I want to keep my accent, Russian accent, I probably would keep it until I am understandable. But
Mhm.
uh, we talked about more local things like language. You cannot use Tatarian language in English dialogue. That's a bit different, I guess.
Um,
Or
yes.
or Italian. They can keep his language, but and they can keep their accent when you speak with them. But to know English makes your communication possible.
Yeah, but do you want your children know Russian?
I don't know.
Is it? I think like language, native language is a huge part of your personality.
Yeah, it not depends. It defines your mentality,
Mhm.
and it depends what I want. If I want to that my children knows Russian, probably I would learn them Russian. But if I don't care to visit Russia and I will stay here for a good, uh, then why I should uh, learn Russian, teach Russian my children if they won't use it? The better to
Okay.
learn English or Swedish or English and
But
Swedish.
they will learn Swedish and English if we live in
Yeah,
Sweden.
yeah.
But Russian is your mother language. Or I think you're being a little bit naive because I think you sometimes you are like an old man
Mm-hmm.
that, oh my God, what are these Zoomers doing? And sometimes you're just, I'm a reasonable person. I live in Sweden and I need to be like this people here. And now I'm talking with this uh, this posh person.
Okay,
Okay, I will wait to your other part of this Russian one.
Russian
Russian one.
with strong Russian accent.
Yes. So I think we need to go forward now.
Yeah, to be honest, I hate this topic.
Mhm. Okay, let's go to that so hateful topic.
Hmm.
Reserve. What a long word. re- resourcefulness and thoughtness.
Resource,
Oh, toughness. Tough.
resourcefulness.
Yep.
Mhm.
The perception that Russians are incredibly resilient and resourceful, capable of enduring tough conditions and making do with limited resources.
Mhm. This is the exact point that I wanted to discuss.
Mm,
When we discussed topic about alcohol and preventing selling the alcohol after 11 p.m., I said we would discuss it a bit
mhm.
later. And time is it? And is it time?
It is a time.
It is a time. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when this law was accepted,
Which law?
mm, for strict selling time of alcohol,
Mm,
Russians came up with some interesting thing. They started to sell alcohol as a gift.
mhm,
You know, you are not selling alcohol as a, let's say, as a alcohol, but
mhm.
you maybe you want to buy a bottle as a souvenir. So,
Okay.
and now you're able to buy alcohol in the internet, and courier will deliver the bottle of when, whatever you want as a gift, not as alcohol. Uh,
Mm,
I've heard about this. So we are good to, I think, come up with things that allows you to stay legal, but uh, keep your profit. Like uh, as we say in Russia, uh, if it doesn't kills you, it makes you stronger.
mm,
No, and there are a lot of examples when we uh, invented things. You know, it's our. I think it's our thinking process. When let's say when I visited Yandex Museum and discussed Russian CPUs, processors,
mhm,
uh, we made these processors better than, let's say, Intel did because of different thinking process. Like I say, we create nice things, but we cannot to sell it properly. I guess
mhm,
we are we weren't good in design for a long time, like,
mhm,
but we created durable things like houses. In Moscow, we lived in house that was built in 1934
mhm,
year, almost 100 years, and there was hot water, electricity. You were able to use your microwave oven and uh, electric heater in the internet. So, and all these things worked well.
mhm.
But the design of these houses,
Mm, I, I, I'm thinking about this statement about this
mhm,
stereotype, and I think it depends on the environment where you live.
mhm,
For example, if you live in a small town or in the village without money and perspectives, is it a word?
yeah,
Yeah. You can mm, choose between two ways: drink alcohol or do something with your life, to be more successful, to have some money. And I think this statement is about that Russians are tough and can struggle with the problems and be successful. I think it's
Yeah.
a fair point in some ways. Of course, it's not about all of us, but it is about some of us, especially our generation and our parents' generation, I think. And I think it's not only about Russians, because I saw a lot of reels, English speaking reels on Instagram about this millennial generation and how we struggling with anxiety and imposter syndrome again. Um, and it's I think it's more about generation problem that we
Yeah.
should be tough
Yeah.
to make our lives better.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So next one, I want to little speed up a little bit. Yeah, because we have lots long conversation. So 9 point, love for banya, Russian sauna. The stereotype that all Russians regularly go to the banya for relaxation and socializing.
I totally agree with this point.
But when was the first time for
Uh,
you
for me, after
visiting banya?
our after our wedding happened. So it was my first time when I visited your parents' banya, and I almost killed myself.
No, banya almost killed.
Yeah, banya almost killed me because I thought I am strong enough, you know.
You're Russian.
Yeah, I'm Russian.
You have it in your blood.
Yeah, we discussed the previous point about toughness. I'm a tough Russian guy, and I can, easily resist that hot inside banya. But it took around 24 hours when I got started normal feelings again.
Mhm,
But after that, I would say I'm a fan of banya right now,
mhm.
because of especially after physical exercises, because
In the gym?
the gym, football,
Mhm,
you're just your body is relaxing for a while.
mhm,
Then you go to the shower, then you can repeat it. So it's nice.
mhm. Yeah. Um, so I have a long story with banya, because, for example, my brother, when he was born, my father went to the banya with him, uh, like this small baby, and he was paril. I don't know, is
Heating
there
up,
a word?
heating up
Yeah,
his
with special equipment in banya.
venik
My father, yeah, venik. It's a bunch of twigs from
tree.
tree
Uh-huh.
with the leaves on them. Um,
It's hard
to
to describe. Just Google
Yeah,
venik.
yes. Mm, and yeah, my dad, uh, I don't know why, but he did this thing with my brother. I think it's just to make my brother stronger, etc. But I I lived in a small town, and in the house which didn't have a shower, and we had only banya. So it was our necessity to go to the banya once or twice a week to be clean.
Mm.
And it was hard for me because I couldn't wash my hair without getting dizzy and this feeling that I want to throw up
Wow.
after this. Yeah, and now I go to banya only to get sweaty, go out, take a shower, and go again, and a few times. But it was a necessity in my childhood. It wasn't nice, but now I like this process more.
Mm.
But I don't wash my head in banya. Yeah,
So Bunny is nice.
banya is cool.
Yeah.
Banya, I think we can describe difference between banya and sauna. So banya has more humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's uh, it's a must to heat banya with woods.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, it should have this pitch
Oven.
inside, or oven
Oven.
inside. Um, yeah, and it's
With
good when
mhm.
you have venik, and you can heat yourself with this equipment.
And the temperature is much higher than in sauna.
Not necessarily, but humidity makes things
Yeah.
worse.
But it's not
Yeah,
a hammam, right?
it's not a hammam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wooden,
Mm-hmm.
uh, wooden building with this. You can like a hack, like izbushka hack, I think. Um, yeah, trunk of wood. Okay, I'm going to the deeps of Russian culture.
Village house, I would say.
Yeah,
Small village house. And
yeah.
going back to previous point, I so in Russia we have a mobile banya, so mobile banya.
Mhm,
So it means banya inside the truck. You
mhm,
can buy this truck. This truck comes to you, and you can heat up yourself and let's say your friend, wife, whatever, for a few hours.
mhm.
So we
Eh,
invented
eh,
this mobile banya.
Yeah, interesting. But I want to say that Swedish people also like
Yeah.
uh, banya, but it's sauna. It's
Hmm.
bastu in Swedish. Um, for example, in Stockholm, I saw few times this water based, not based, this
Placed on
building
the water.
sauna
Hmm.
placed on water, and people just go in there and then go to swim to the
Cold water.
water. Yeah. So it's about sweets too, but not
Hmm.
banya. So we have last one finally.
Yeah.
um, Traditional gender roles. The
Oh.
belief that Russian society strictly adheres to traditional gender roles with clear expectations for men and women.
In general, it's true.
Yeah.
Uh,
At the word adhere means um, do you know what
no.
Mhm. Mm,
So it's
so
true. Mm.
adhere, it's formal word
Hmm.
to stick firmly.
Mm. To be formal, right?
no, to stick, mm, to stick firmly, stick to something, like stick to the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stick to the rules.
Follow the
I think
rules.
follow. Yeah.
I totally agree with. So the majority. I have a story about that. So
Mm-hmm.
in Russian, we have some prejudice about men. So men don't cry. Men shouldn't wear colorful and bright clothes or ring accessories in your ears,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or even color your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was young, quite young, maybe 7 years old or 10 years old, uh, I colored my hair to blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was popular in on the MTV, and
Mm-hmm.
David Beckham has had this hair color, and I decided uh, to be on the same plate with David Beckham. So
Mm-hmm.
I asked my mom to color my hair, and after that, uh, boys from the yard declined to play with me with in football
Mm-hmm.
until I, let's say,
You're
cap.
with your natural. Ah, with cap.
I had to cover up this this sheet on my
Mm,
head.
okay.
So the same thing about the ring in my left ear
Mm-hmm.
ear. So the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I made it in a when I was 16 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I got some hate from my friends, but now I'm okay with this, and I would say some small traditions, you know, getting older and, you know, almost died.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's good when you have nice haircut, you know, good clothes. But if you looks like a rainbow, it will affect you, I guess.
Mm,
So
okay.
that was a, you know, boy's point, like a
Mm-hmm.
man's point.
Yeah, so you want to say that men in Russia should consider their do's and don'ts of their appearance.
Yes.
And
What about women?
I think we have some stereotypes about women, and I wanted to add here that Russia lives in two parallel worlds.
Yes.
There is Russia as Moscow, Russia, for example, and there is Russia as
Chechnya.
patriots. Patriots. Oh, it's a third Russia also. Like we have a lot of Russia in Russia.
Yeah.
um, so I think in Moscow you can be like anyone.
St.
You can be
Petersburg also.
gay. You can be
Lesbian.
gender neutral person.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as far as you as far as you don't participate in politics or you don't
Protests.
earn
Oh.
don't earn million rubles
Mm.
per month
Weak.
by advertising or week, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have this phrase in Russia:
Don't
"Не
show up.
отсвечивай." Don't show
Oh.
up, не отсвечивай,
Mm-hmm.
and everything will be okay. I think it's true, and but still we have these stereotypes about women's life, about men's life,
Hmm.
but you can live with it
If you
mm,
don't show up.
if you don't show up. Um, of course, for people with um, like LGBTQ plus, I don't know, a full
Hmm.
name for it, it's better to live somewhere else, or at least in Moscow or St. Petersburg or another big city. Um, yeah,
But
but
better to live
mm,
in
not
Europe.
necessarily. For example, there is a blogger, Alexei Zhitkovsky,
Hmm.
and he is very successful. He do he does makeup. He has long hair.
Yeah.
He
He looks like a woman.
likes. Mm, mm,
You know, if you show me his photo, like a face photo, I would
mhm,
say he looks like a woman.
yeah, but he has lots of millions followers, and he lives good, better life than
Most of us.
most of us. Yeah, even his dogs lives better life than most of us. Yeah.
So
So
that was the last one, right?
yeah, it was the last one.
We did it.
We did it. I
Almost 2 hours.
I hope it was interesting and you still here. Please leave comments. I've heard at Luke's English podcast that he says, after a long episode, he says, okay, leave a comment that you're not a skeleton, that you're still here, that you're alive, and we will know who is brave enough to listen this long episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone
Yeah.
and keep
Thank
listening us.
you. Leave your comments. What do you think about these stereotypes? And if you agree with us or don't agree, we are open to your opinions. And
Hmm.
after I will listen and edit this episode, I will write a score. But I think Sasha is wins
No,
our
I
competition.
used 2 words of 3.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. Thank
See.
you
Bye
for
bye.
listening. Bye bye.